Over 65 years ago, a group of preservation-minded citizens of York County organized the York County Historical Commission, authorized by the South Carolina General Assembly, to identify and safeguard the historic resources of the county. Amid the U.S. bicentennial, the Commission started the restoration effort to transform historic Brattonsville from a group of dilapidated buildings into an open-air museum that tells a 100-year story of the American South, bookended by a revolution and reconstruction. This early work also included the relocation of agricultural structures tied to the agrarian past of the Carolina Piedmont in the 1980s and 90s. These efforts preserved those threatened buildings that now aid us in telling the story of the region. Since then, our work has ranged from the preservation of existing fabric to the restoration of missing details and the reconstruction of vanished buildings. Preservation at historic Brattonsville is twofold. It is both the landscape and the buildings that dot it. Today, Brattonsville is a preserved rural landscape of meadows and woodlands, similar to those first seen by the Brattons over 260 years ago, harvested by their enslaved people, and later worked by freedmen. The wealth produced by enslaved people afforded the Brattons the ability to construct 4 big houses, numerous slave houses, and agricultural outbuildings. We are restoring 3 of the houses to 3 distinct periods of significance to tell the evolutionary story of the Brattonsville community. 1840, Brattonsville Female Seminary and the education of women in the antebellum South. 1855, Homestead House and the complexities of a white widow operating a plantation in the paternalistic South. 1871, Bratton's Store as the site of the coroner's inquest following the murder of James Williams, a civil rights leader in the Reconstruction South. The restoration of Brattonsville also gives voice to the enslaved people that lived, worked, and died at this place. Their story is missing from the documentary record, silenced. So we use place to fill the silence, to breathe life into those unknown to us, but created and persevered in this place. It is a testament to their struggle.
To do this work, we study the existing building fabric. We use photography, drawings, and also we have a scientific approach that includes paint analysis to better understand how the building was built and changed over time. And then we use this information to plan a preservation project.
As we restore our historic buildings at historic Brattonsville, we want to restore them as accurately as possible down to the original paint colors. So we use paint analysis to determine how the buildings were painted originally, how those color schemes changed over time. So with paint analysis, you're taking a paint chip from an architectural surface, casting it into a resin cube, which can then be cut and polished so that you can observe it under a microscope around 100 or 200 times magnification. And then you can see a distinct paint layer for every time the element was painted over time. Here at the bottom, these are the wood cells. So this is the substrate for this particular sample. And then these are the first couple of paint layers. They're sort of a creamy color. And then everything above are modern paint layers, which you can tell through certain characteristics of modern latex paint.
We have 2 original brick slave houses, which have much of their original fabric. These spaces are important for telling the story of the enslaved community at Brattonsville, and it's very important to conserve as much of the original fabric as possible. Where we have material that is too deteriorated to save, we replace it in kind, replicating the original details as closely as possible. Those elements that are replaced are added to our architectural fragment collection for continued study and analysis. While the earliest work at Brattonsville came from a sense of nostalgia for a bygone era, we continue our work today to tell the little-known stories of the people that built, shaped, farmed, and made Brattonsville. It survived to tell their stories, so we work to give life to those stories through this place. We invite you to come out to see this work for yourself and consider becoming a Culture and Heritage Museums member, which directly supports the ongoing architectural restorations and historic preservation efforts here at Historic Brattonsville. Thank you for your help in preserving the past for our future.